Admiral Green stared at the holographic display showing the Galactic Council's ultimatum. His weathered face remained expressionless, but his knuckles whitened as he gripped the edge of the command table. They want us to surrender Earth's military assets and accept protective oversight, he said, his voice carrying across the silent command center. Apparently, we're too unpredictable to be trusted with our own governance. Captain Reed nodded grimly. The vote was 112-3. Only the Centauri, Rigelians, and Taucedians stood with us. Fellow Deathworlders, Green noted. The rest fear what they don't understand. For 2 centuries, humanity had walked a diplomatic tightrope. Classified as Deathworlders, species evolved on high-gravity, high-radiation planets with extreme climate variation and aggressive fauna. Humans had carefully hidden their true capabilities. They smiled politely at being called surprisingly adaptable, never mentioning that what aliens considered emergency survival scenarios were merely uncomfortable to humans. Transmit Protocol Omega to all Earth forces, Green ordered. Authorization. Code Thermopylae. The communications officer swallowed hard. Sir, that's the— I know what it is, Lieutenant, Green interrupted. The time for pretending is over. Ambassador Wilson watched the council chamber erupt into chaos. The Galactic Council's high speaker, a willowy Arcanian with translucent skin, pounded his ceremonial staff against the floor, the sound barely audible over the shouting. Order! We will have order! Wilson remained seated, the sole representative of humanity in a chamber of over 100 alien species. He had received the Protocol Omega notification 10 minutes ago on his secure implant. 23 years of, diplomatic service, he thought, all leading to this moment. The High Speaker finally restored a semblance of order. Ambassador Wilson, your species has 1 planetary rotation to comply with the Council's directive. Will Earth submit to the will of the galactic majority? Wilson stood slowly, adjusting his suit jacket. At 6'2", he towered over most representatives. High Speaker, esteemed representatives, he began, his voice steady. For 2 centuries, humanity has respected your customs, followed your regulations, and contributed to this galactic community. Despite being treated as dangerous outsiders, we have demonstrated nothing but peaceful intentions. He paused, making eye contact with the few allies in the room. But we will not surrender our sovereignty. We will not be subjugated because our biology makes you uncomfortable. The Deathworlders of Earth reject your ultimatum. The chamber exploded again. The Varlian representative, a methane breather in an environmental suit, stood. Then you leave us no choice. The Council's enforcement fleet has already been dispatched to your system. Wilson smiled thinly. I'm aware. That's unfortunate. The Galactic Enforcement Vessel. Righteous Doctrine, Admiral Thrix reviewed the invasion plan. The Council had assembled its largest fleet in 50 cycles, 200 capital ships and over 1,000 support vessels. These humans are stubborn, but they're primitive, he told his commanders. Their technology is centuries behind ours. Our sensors detect only 50 defense satellites and a few hundred atmospheric craft. This will be a simple show of force. His tactical officer, a reptilian Draken, looked uncertain. Sir, our intelligence suggests humans might be more capable than they appear. Thrix waved a dismissive tentacle. Nonsense. They've never demonstrated any advanced weaponry. Their ships barely achieve light speed. This is merely a police action. Sir, the communications officer interrupted. We're receiving a transmission from Earth. The main screen activated, showing Admiral Green. This is Admiral James Green of Earth Defense Force. Your fleet has entered restricted space. Withdraw immediately. Thrix fluttered his breathing membranes in amusement. Admiral Green, we outnumber you 20-1. Power down your defense systems and prepare for boarding. Green's expression remained impassive. Admiral Thrix, we've respected the Council's restrictions on weapons development and military expansion for 2 centuries. We've pretended to be less than we are, to make you comfortable. That pretense ends today. The screen split to show orbital views around Earth. Space itself seemed to ripple as hundreds of vessels suddenly appeared, massive warships materializing from nowhere. Impossible, Thrix gasped. Where did those come from? Phase-shifted dimension. Pockets, Green explained. Our real fleet has been there all along, hidden from your sensors. As for our technology, one of the human vessels fired what looked like a small projectile toward an empty area of space. It exploded into a miniature star that collapsed instantly, pulling 3 Council scout ships into nothingness. Contained singularity weapons, Green continued. Effective, wouldn't you agree? Thrix's skin paled. This is a violation of galactic law. Green shook his head. No, we never signed those particular treaties. We merely let you believe we did. Deathworlders learned to keep advantages hidden until needed. Another screen appeared showing human ground forces. Soldiers in powered armor leapt impossible distances, lifted vehicles with mechanical ease, and moved with blinding speed. This is who we really are, Green said. We don't want war, Admiral, but we won't be colonized, controlled, or threatened. You have 30 minutes to retreat beyond Saturn's orbit. The transmission ended, leaving Thrix staring at the approaching human armada. 3 days later, Ambassador Wilson sat across from the Council's emergency committee. The attempted invasion had ended without a single human casualty. 40 Council ships had been destroyed before Thrix ordered a retreat. Your deception was comprehensive, the High Speaker said, voice hollow with shock. Wilson shrugged. We're Deathworlders. On Earth, those who can't hide from predators don't survive. We simply applied the lesson on a galactic scale. What do you want now? A new relationship, Wilson answered. Equal membership, not supervised containment. Recognition of Earth's sovereign territory. And acknowledgement that perhaps you should stop underestimating species from harsh worlds. The Council members exchanged glances. And if we refuse? Wilson smiled. Then humanity stops being friendly altogether. I suggest you choose wisely. The committee voted unanimously to accept Earth's terms.